Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have something again that is super cool, and again from SP Art Projects. Yes, I have the pleasure of adding yet another SP Art Projects model to my collection, which is probably one of the coolest collections that I have going right now. Would be my amount of SP Art Projects models. I believe this would be my fifth, I think I have now 5. I've got the Pteranodon Sternbergi. I've also got their T-Rex. I have a Styracosaurus, the recent Dakotaraptor and Ankylosaurus model I had reviewed, and now a Parasaurolophus. And we can see this Parasaurolophus is just kind of relaxing, just laying down, which is really cool. It's not often that we get kind of relaxing interpretations of dinosaurs, and definitely not often that we get one that looks as good as this. Again, you can see it's a bit smaller than the recent Dakotaraptor and Ankylosaurus model I had gone over, but just as beautiful. Really, really nice looking sculpt. Very Jurassic Park, kind of Lost World Jurassic Park-ish sort of look as far as the coloration goes, I would say. And the name of this is actually Elvis, which if you are familiar with the Lost World Jurassic Park, you would immediately get that reference. And again, I would say a perfect name for this, but it looks incredible as everything from SP Art Projects always does. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight to a closer look at it right now. So one thing straight away to take note of is the fact that the Parasaurolophus is just one piece. Like, there's no separation between the dinosaur and the base. So you cannot take the Parasaurolophus off like you could with the Dakotaraptor and Ankylosaurus. But that is because why would you want to? Like, it's just laying here. It looks perfect the way it is. You wouldn't want to remove that, I would imagine. It wouldn't really make much sense. But if you get nice and close to the head sculpt here of the Parasaurolophus, you can see again we've got some really nice looking texturing there to the skin. You've got some nice detailing as you lead up here into the beak. Also some gorgeous paintwork, honestly. I love the tones of color that they've chosen for this. Even having a somewhat similar look to the Lost World Jurassic Park version, I think that they've given their own elements of their own style of paintwork to it, which I really love. And you can see again quite a bit of variation of like browns, darker browns, and lighter browns as you lead up here from the beak up into the crest. And you can also see like some yellowish browns here and stuff in the side of the face. We can also see that the nostrils are nicely highlighted. There we go, if we could focus on it, with a darker tone of color, but there's also a nice gloss coat there for the nostrils. We have the eyes painted with a nice black, given a nice gloss coat as well, and again you can even see some darker shading there around the eye as you lead up into the crest of the Parasaurolophus. That as well again has some nice variation of color, some nice texturing and everything. As you lead down here along the side of the neck, you can see some wrinkling and creasing here in the neck as the dinosaur obviously has its head turned toward its left a little bit, just kind of tilted up. And you can see that not only do the wrinkles show up there on the side, but you can also see them leading down here on the underside of the neck, leading into the chest region itself. You can also see the chest a bit there as you lead down, and again, even more variation of color down into the chest. It's such a beautiful looking Parasaurolophus, it really is. As you lead up here into the back of the neck, you see some ridges picking up here. You can also see again even more variation of color, more wrinkles as you lead down. As we get down here closer to the body itself, you see a few more wrinkles leading into the body. You can kind of make out the shoulder blade there protruding from the skin. You can also see a white stripe that kind of picks up and runs along the upper side of the dinosaur there. The ridges continue to move along the course of the body as you lead along the spinal column. We have some more really nice looking skin texture leading down here into the side of the body. All sorts of variation again of color added. Incredible paintwork you'll always find on these SP Art Projects models because they're always painted and sculpted by the same person, the same original artist. But as you lead down the course of the front leg, you can see some muscle definition. You can make out the elbow right there, and then as you lead down the front of the leg, you've got some scoots moving down into the toes, and you can also see the arms are nicely crossed here as the dinosaur again is just relaxing, just enjoying itself a little bit. Some nice girth there in the stomach. You can see some nice texturing to the stomach region as well. As you lead up, the hip bone is definitely protruding from the skin quite significantly. A lot of that probably has to do with the positioning of the body, and specifically the positioning of the legs and the way the legs are kind of folded, which is really making that hip hip bones stand out. Nice attention to detail on the part of SP Art Projects, and you can see again the incredible paintwork as we move along. It is just absolutely gorgeous everywhere. As you move down, you've got some nice muscle definition. You've got some kind of stripes leading from the back of the leg toward the front of the thigh, and then as you lead down, you've got the knee right there in the front of the leg. You've got the calf muscle bulging a little bit, some nice skin wrinkles there back behind the knee leading up in toward the tail. And then as you lead down, you can again see how the legs are just kind of relaxing. The feet are relaxing, kind of laying on each other a little bit right there. The nails are also sculpted very nicely, which you can see there. Some nice scoots down the toes. We've got a little area of vegetation right there. There is also some vegetation up here on the front of the base. Again, I love that he always gives you like variation as far as the vegetation goes. Like it's not the same plant life that you see everywhere on the base. Very, very realistic as far as that goes. And then as you lead up, you can again see some more as far as the really nice looking skin texture, some more nice looking ridges moving along the back of the tail. They actually kind of increase in size a little bit right here. And then as we lead down, you can see that there is at some point has been some sort of a injury occurring to the dinosaur, as we have a little bit of a chunk. Boy, if my camera would focus on it, we have a little bit of a chunk taken out of the back of the tail right there as you lead down, and he's painted that out again very realistically. So very nice touch as far as that goes. I love little things like that, really nice doses of realism that help to just add so much more enjoyment to these models. And you can see the tail kind of curves around up toward the front, which looks really cool. And if we get a look over here, you can again see the injury, but you can also see the phenomenal looking texturing, the phenomenal looking paintwork as we move along. You can make out the hip bone on this side as well, and you can also see how the body's kind of scrunched up there as the dinosaur's, of course, laying down, and get a pretty decent look at the opposing side of the body as you move along. Back up toward the head of our Parasaurolophus. You can again see the paintwork there of the eye, the nice gloss coat, and all of the really nice looking skin texture and everything else there in the face. And the base is also really nicely done, again, as we have a nice earthy area with all kinds of variation of color, all kinds of really nice texturing to that area. And then if we take a look here at the underside, if we get it the right way, you can again see Elvis Parasaurolophus by SP Art Projects, 1/50th scale, and this is number 4 of 50. So definitely a really, really nice looking Parasaurolophus, another fantastic addition to my SP Art Projects collection. As far as a size goes, for a length on the Parasaurolophus itself, you're looking at about the, well, immediately we'd see a little over 13.5 centimeters, closing in on 14 or just shy of about 5.5 inches. Height-wise, a little under 2 3/4 inches or about 6.5 centimeters. And if we go for a length on the base itself, about the, I'd say about 5 1/4 inches or around 13.5 centimeters for the base. But as far as a size comparison goes, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line next to our Parasaurolophus from SP Art Projects. And you can see again, it's a good bit on the smaller side. So if you are looking for a really nice version of a Parasaurolophus that you'd like to put on like your desktop, your work desk, something like that, this is a great way to go because it's extremely highly detailed in the paintwork department as well, but also not so large, so it's a nice convenient size to pretty much display anywhere. And I don't feel like we really need too many size comparisons with this one because it's at a 1/50th scale size range, so it's a lot smaller than most of the other Parasaurolophus that I would have in my collection. But for two randoms, we have a Captives supersized Spinosaurus and a Mattel Mini Baryonyx here to kind of step in to give you an idea of how small this is. Again, it's not super tiny. It by no means is a minifigure or anything like that. But when it comes to SP Art Projects, it's definitely the smallest that I have from them. So if you are familiar with their work, hopefully this will give you a pretty good idea, again, of the fact that this is a good bit smaller than you usually see from them. So this Elvis, the Parasaurolophus from SP Art Projects, is yet another fantastic model from them. Like, I really, really cannot even begin to stress how much I love their work. Every single model I have from them is a masterpiece, and this Parasaurolophus is no exception. Again, just a really nice looking, very relaxed version of a Parasaurolophus, just kind of laying down, just looking around, enjoying itself. I could honestly just envision in my head like a nice herd of Parasaurolophus, some of them laying around, some of them feeding, just kind of all relaxing and enjoying their day. And obviously we are focused on this one here, as this one specifically is our Elvis, and he's done a great job of sculpting it out to show off all of the detail perfectly with the crossed legs and the wrinkles and everything depending on the positioning of the body, like specifically the neck and the tilt in the head and everything. He's also given it just a generally peaceful look to the face. Like, it just looks so relaxed. It almost makes me jealous. I want to go lay down and just relax like this Parasaurolophus does, but there's never time in the day for that. But again, on top of that, the paintwork is incredible. It has that kind of Lost World Jurassic Park-ish sort of a look to it as far as the coloration goes, but also with elements from SP Art Project's own kind of touch when it comes to the paintwork. And all of it is applied in the most realistic way. Lots of variation of color, nice elements of dry brushing and washes and everything added to give it a very, very realistic look. And on top of that, we also have a really cool area out there on the tail where we can see our Parasaurolophus has sustained an injury, which is really cool, and obviously has a pretty good chunk taken out of its tail, and he's even painted that out and sculpted it out perfectly. We have a really nice base for the Parasaurolophus on top of everything with some nice vegetation, again, which gives the entire scene an even more authentic look and feel. On top of that, there's actually something else that's really cool about this model, and it's something I've never seen before from SP Art Projects or very few sculptors in general, but this actually glows in the dark. If you hold it up to the light for a little bit and then, of course, turn off the lights, you can see again that this actually glows in the dark, which is similar to what you see on the Camp Cretaceous Parasaurolophus, and I think that was his idea behind it, his mentality going into it, kind of giving it that somewhat of a, they kind of have like a bioluminescence in Camp Cretaceous, and that was kind of his idea behind that here with this Parasaurolophus. So man, this is an unbelievably cool release from SP Art Projects. I highly recommend picking one of these up if you are interested. Again, with being a limited edition, you don't want to sleep on it. You don't want it to sell out before you have a chance to get one. So if you are interested, make sure you check the link that I will include in the description to where you can contact SP Art Projects on Instagram, or of course, if you do not have social media, my email address will be in the description as well, and you can contact me and I can contact them for you to help you place an order. One way or another, again, definitely pick up this Parasaurolophus. It is awesome, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.